EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with the Kansas City Chiefs. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. Play on first down will get 4 up to the 29.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now a give, right side. Keenan. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat?
A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. A big play there for KC.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
On 2nd down, Keenan, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5. Mahomes now to throw. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. Touchdown! Mecole Hardman, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs take it right down and score on the opening drive. Extra point by Butker is on target, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, they'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. First carry here for Kene Nwangu. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. This defense for the Chiefs, they were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
Watch twins. Watch twins.
On second down, here's Nwangu. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Back to throw. Barker. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. This seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that 1st down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 37-yard line. Looking to throw. Barker will set up the screen for Nwangu. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. To throw on 2nd down. Barker. Open man. That's Noah Fant, the tight end.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. A big loss on the play. That's the bad news. A consolation, they keep the football. He's thankful right now for that sideline because it could have been a fumble loss, instead just a fumble, though they will have to punt it down.
You're right about that, but do you think there's ever been a player happier to see his own punter go on the field than him?
No.
I mean, not at all, right? How fortunate is he that they got a chance to punt it away, and it's not just a turnover at the spot.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they are trying to create some separation within the division. And look, CD, I know that this is still the first half of the season, but this is a big matchup no matter where it falls because these are the top 2 teams right now in that division.
And if you could build a bit of a cushion as you head towards the second part of the season, that allows you to survive the expected injuries, potential upset losses, all of those things, and still be in good shape.
On 2nd down now, Keenan. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. Now Mahomes. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he will have a Chiefs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
They'll run on 1st down. Keenan, and he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. They go play action. Now Mahomes. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 42.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
What a savvy read by the running back. He saw his quarterback was out of the pocket in a little bit of trouble. He just broke off his route and took off deep downfield. Thought for a second there they had him, but they were unable to connect for a big play.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down. Now here's Mahomes. And he comes back with one complete. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
From the 27, Mahomes flush to his right. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free. But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 9-yard line.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Now they'll throw with Mahomes. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Here's Mahomes, 3rd and goal. And he's got it. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there. Butker's kick here is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Now on third down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Handoff here to Nwangu, and they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And it's taken in at the 9. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
From the 25 on second down, Mahomes. This is intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Back to throw. Barker. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. And Boswell's kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And we'll see how much they want to push things, leading already here 10-3. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes, eluding the pressure right. The right side going to be caught by Hardman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. On play action, it's Mahomes. Steps away. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A big play there. And the final seconds of the first half. And the Chiefs will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Butker is on target. And the lead is now 17-3. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Now, they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On the give is Nwangu. And some room to roam now. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. 93 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. They'll check that down to Nwangu out of the backfield. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it's a 2nd down. Off the play fake. Barker. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
On 3rd down, Barker. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Christian Fulton. And the Chiefs force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 36. Here's a handoff out of the gun. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
He'll go up top here for Hamler. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field, going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Here's Mahomes to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 66 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Mahomes. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off down near the 5. And the Broncos are right back in this football game. A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but to throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is...
And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. Looking to throw. Barker. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off with great anticipation. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
They'll go right back to the Wangu. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. The Broncos on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on third down. At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 48-yard line. In trouble, and he's taken down. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Operating from the gun, Barker. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. From the gun, Barker. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
He'll go up top here for Hamler. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory. And as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
77 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet.
And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or 2 shy of midfield.
But give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but that's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
And instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. And the Chiefs are going to get him. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. On 3rd and 2, Barker. And that one a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And incomplete on the deep ball. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop. The Chiefs' offense about set to begin this drive. And it would seem as if their 3-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start 1st and 10. And now a big play to start off this drive as the shot downfield is complete. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they give this time to the tailback. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. Mahomes going to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Here's 2nd and 10. Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
118 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. On first down, Barker drops this off with Nwangu. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Looking to throw on 2nd down, Barker. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop. On first down, Keenan. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.